Well, the tragic death of the late Lufuno Mavhunga has magnified the issue of bullying in schools. The grade 10 Limpopo pupil overdosed on sleeping pills after she was assaulted by some fellow learners. But from today until Thursday, the South African Human Rights Commission in the Limpopo province is conducting a hearing into bullying, corporal punishment, including sexual relationships between educators and pupils. Let's get more on this event with the SA Human Rights Commission Provincial Manager, that is Mr. Victor Mavhunga. Mr. Mavhunga, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. Let me start with the aim of this hearing. What does the Human Rights Commission aim to achieve, as well as aim for the outcome to be out of this hearing?
Thank you very much to you and the viewers. The main objective of this particular hearing is for us to put our heads together in order to find a long-lasting solution. We have just realized as the Human Rights Commission that the fight against bullying in our schools need a broader involvement of all the stakeholders in the education system. So as the Human Rights Commission, you will understand that our mandate is also very broad, and we are the ones to ensure that all the children or all learners, they receive education when they go to school. If they are not receiving education or being bullied, it means that their right to education is being violated. So ours is to find a long-lasting solution with the involvement of all the stakeholders in the province.
Yeah, and you'll be doing this over the course of a couple of days, from the 18th to the 20th of May, I understand. But we know we have seen the case of the late Lufuno and how it has sort of opened the lead on a lot of these cases, not just in the Limpopo province, but I suppose around the country. We'd see so many parents, pupils, or even educators saying this seems to be the norm. But when we look at Limpopo and zone in on the provinces, have you received any statistics on the reports against, bullying, corporal punishment, or even sexual relations between educators and some of the learners? And what do they stats say, if you have received them?
Yes, we received some of the statistics from NGOs that are involved with that are involved with the education system. Mm. But in terms of from the Department of Education, we have not yet received accurate information as to what is happening, because after the death of Lufuno Mavhunga, there were so many other videos that started to crop up from the social media, and although we follow up on those videos, we also have people who have approached us as the Human Rights Commission to investigate some of this of this claim against bullying. So there are so many information. No one can say this is the accurate number of bullying, but we all know that this is rife in the province. Yeah. So that is the reason why we have decided as the Human Rights Commission that we should not address this in a piecemeal approach. We need to get a broader approach to make sure that we avoid the reoccurring of this bullying.
Now, you just mentioned there that there hasn't been any communication in terms of stats from the Limpopo Department of Basic Education. With that being said, are you satisfied with the accountability or transparency that's been shared here by the department? Because one would assume that there are preventative policies and measures in place by the department to ensure that such incidents in schools do not occur, or at least when they do, they can act with a matter of urgency referring to those policies. Are you satisfied with their accountability and transparency thus far?
I can say that we are not at all. We are not. Even you know what is interesting in South Africa is that we have a very good police and legislative framework. The challenge that we are facing as a country is whether those legislation and policies are being implemented. The same applies to the issue of bullying. We all know that we have police framework on bullying. We have the legislation that is guiding everyone as to what is that you must do as a government official or as a parent when your child is facing bullying. But there is no evidence of implementing those to the fullest. That's why we feel as the Human Rights Commission, there should be accountability. When we find gaps, I can confirm with you that we are not going to hesitate to refer particular cases to the police if it need be. So we are not going to leave any stone unturned, because we have realized that without taking strong action against the perpetrators, we are not going to resolve this problem.
Yeah. And with that being said, when we look at also schools and ASGBs, obviously the Department of Basic Education here being a stakeholder, Mr. Mavhunga, where do you think they're dropping the ball when it comes to day-to-day assessments and monitoring of these policies of these children in classrooms? Where do you think the problem lies on the ground?
I think the problem is with the Department of Education. You will be shocked with some of the information that will be revealed during the hearing, because we have conducted a preliminary investigation in some of the cases that had happened. It looks like there's no action from the Department of Education, a coordinated action. Let's take, for example, there is a bullying that had occurred.
Yeah.
There is no coordination or any follow-up with the cases that they receive as to how those cases have been resolved. And that frustrates not only to the learners, to the parents who are having children who are being bullied in the system or at the school. They don't know where to go. Everyone is frustrated because the Department of Education is failing to implement what they are supposed to implement in terms of the law and the policies. So I think that is the major problem. So we want to make sure that we work with other stakeholders in order to find a solution as to how we should assist the department to deal with bullying, because we believe that if we are all engaged, we'll be able to push the department to do the right thing.
All right. Well, Mr. Mavhunga, as you, of course, commence with the hearings today, I understand they should be complete by the 20th of May. I'm hoping we can have a follow-up conversation as to perhaps what are the outcomes and what you plan to do. Already you have suggested that you might need to, of course, pursue legal routes, taking some of these cases to the police. However, I'd like to, of course, extend an invitation so we can have a follow-up of the outcomes and really talk about some of the cases that have been presented at the hearing, so that we can avoid another incident of another learner unfortunately taking their life due to bullying. Thank you so much, though, for your time. That is, of course, the SA Human Rights Commission's Limpopo Manager, Mr. Victor Mavhunga.